Greetings everyone, my name is Steven Setiawan from Indonesia, and I'm also a part of 30 under 30 environmental educators from NAAEE 2020, and in this opportunity I will bring a presentation about waste management education for improving grassroots community resilience as my presentation for NAAEE 14th annual conference. And this presentation divided into two parts. The first part is the waste management education, why we need to decentralize our waste management and who is responsible for our waste. And I've provided this slide with several charts from Water Waste 2.0 by World Bank 2018 to show that this is the condition of the global waste management. For example, we can see in the upper left, there is a chart that stated that most of the waste, or we can see the 23% of waste comes from East Asia and Pacific region. And when we break down the composition of the waste, 44% of our waste are organic waste. And unfortunately, we haven't done enough things to make our waste management sustainable, as we can see that open dumping is something that is still preferred all over the world. And that's the first point. And the second point that I want to present is the grassroots community resilience, how waste management can empower grassroots community resilience, especially during COVID-19. Because I come from Indonesia, so I will bring the context of Indonesia as an example of how developing countries can manage and thrive through waste management, especially in the times of pandemic. And as you can see the graphs above that, I will translate it to you, that these charts show about the number of waste pickers in the PSBB. PSBB is a certain measure of lockdown in Indonesia, and in my province, which was written Jawa Barat, or we can say it West Java, there are much more waste pickers than in the capital city, which is DKI Jakarta. And this condition, on the left side of the chart with the title Jumlah Pemulung di Kawasan PSBB, there is the stigmatized of waste pickers, that most of the people feels sympathy for the waste pickers, but I will talk how to turn that sympathy into something real and something that can empower them. So as I've stated before, that 44% of the world's waste are organic waste. In Indonesia, according to the Indonesian Environmental Statistics 2018, more than 50% of our waste are organic waste. And in Bandung itself, in my city, 63% of our waste are organic waste. So we can see in the global and in the local scale that organic waste is the dominant waste that we need to get rid of. And if we can solve the organic waste management problem, we can solve the overall waste management problem. And we need to see that waste pickers are the marginalized heroes. In Indonesia itself, there are more than 150,000 waste pickers in Indonesia, and more than 2,000 waste pickers live in Bandung, and they only get $10 per month from waste picking activities. Why that's so? And we need also to see, before we enter or dive into the waste pickers problem, we need to see that the current waste management is not the best waste management that we can have. We can see that 33% of the world prefers open dumping to solve waste management problem, but we can see that almost 15 years ago, almost 150 people died in my hometown Cimahi because of waste landslide in Lewi Gajah landfill, and it's because the explosion from the organic waste dumping in that site. And in 2020 in Indonesia alone, 100 tons of waste from Cipecang landfill went to Cisadane River on May 22nd, 2020. This shows to us that we need to decentralize our waste management, because if we keep centralize our waste management in one place, it will bring more disaster, and this is like a time bomb for us. So we come back to the problems of waste pickers. We can see in Indonesia alone, the inorganic waste values 10 times higher than the organic waste, because people and the waste pickers itself think that waste management is only valuable if we separate the inorganic waste from organic waste, so they can sell the inorganic waste, for example the plastic bottle. But we need to seek how to incentivize waste pickers to collect organic waste, and this is where I will tell you about how in Indonesia, especially with my experience, how to empower waste pickers. So we can increase the value of organic waste to make waste pickers also do something about the waste management in the organic waste. And one of the best examples is black soldier fly larvae. It is a bioconverter that converts organic waste into its biomass and organic fertilizer. And 1 ton of organic waste can be converted into 100 kilograms of maggot or 20 kilograms of dead maggot and 100 kilograms of organic fertilizer in 2 weeks. So this maggot can make the less valuable organic waste into something that can be sold and people to buy it because they have their pets, they have the livestock, etc. So for that I established Ilarvae. Ilarvae is a startup that has a goal of empower waste pickers management, empower waste pickers economically to recycle organic waste with black soldier fly larvae. In November 2019, Ilarvae won a competition that makes us went to the United States, and we got the consultation how to scale up our project. And in March 2020, we got our first prototype, and the picture in the middle is the prototype of a waste management facility that is intended to use by the waste pickers. And in June 2020, we get the idea validation from the environmental department in Bandung that our waste management can work for the waste pickers. This is another approach of how I help grassroots community to survive during the COVID-19 through teaching them about waste management, especially through circular economy approach. In February 2020, my friends and I created Baramuda, which has a goal to empower youth through environmental education. And we, in February 2020, we did Waste Warrior Workshop to teach youth in Bandung about organic waste management. Then in March 2020, we launched Baramuda Berbagi Project, which is a project to help housewives who got affected by COVID-19 to help their economic by empowering them to sew reusable mask from the patchwork from textile industries. So they recycle the patchwork into reusable masks and they sell it, and the money is used to do charity project like you can see in the picture in the middle. And in June 2020, our initiative got be known by the Pertamina Foundation, and they are willing to scale up our project. So that is the example of how we can teach people to do waste management or to do environmental education, especially during these hard times, by prioritizing how and what is their needs right now, and how we as environmental educators can cater their needs, but in the same time also teach them about environmental education indirectly. So that's my presentation. If you want to contact me, I can be contacted through WhatsApp or my email. So thank you.